Is there a specific KPI that you're working towards? I mean, so for example, you mentioned number of tourists as a very important number
Yes.
for Dubai. Was that, so during the pandemic, that's obviously not a relevant number because at the time airports were closed.
Yes.
So what was the KPI? What was your number one goal?
We always have,
metrics-wise.
when we look at any of our campaigns, right, whether it was during or not related to the pandemic, it's a typical funnel approach. Some campaigns are awareness, some are consideration, others are conversion. So when it comes to this situation, the awareness side would be where we'd be focused on, and making sure that there's an engagement level, what kind of impression, how many people are sharing, how many comments are we getting out of it, and ultimately, search started going up for Dubai, right? And that search behavior drove us to the next campaign, which came immediately after that, which is Ready When You Are. Because now it's been about a week or 10 days, people are getting frustrated of being at home, right? Khalas, it's no more panic and scared and stuff. It's more about frustration of when are we going to go out? So we became playful. We started to become a bit more funny with our messaging. So we started to show people practicing golf putting at home, but then we showed them someone working on the greens at the golf courses here, perfectly manicuring the putting area and saying, we're ready when you are. Kind of a thing. So people enjoyed that. They started sharing it and commenting on it as well. Now, those are the campaign side of things that we're working on. But what's also important is, how did we do it? So during that period of time, we had access, some of the team had access to, let's say, their asset library of Dubai, different shots of Dubai and stuff like that. So they were editing at home. And the script writing was done by another 2 team members at home. And then the voice recording, I actually did it within my closet with a duvet over my head on my phone, and I sent it across, and it was created into the ad. So it shows you that as a team, we were able to really become playful with it, engage the whole team in it, created an amazing environment, and that reflected in the asset that went out, because the way that people engage with that shows you that, you know what, that's where I want to go. Now, this is from a marketing side. What we also did in parallel, every single measure, those processes, those new policies, Dubai Assured program, everything that we were doing was being communicated across all of our partnership channels. So the biggest players from around the world, from TV, from online, communicating what's Dubai doing. So that was building the trust of the destination. So when things open up, Dubai seems fun, has a lot of things for me to do, and it's actually the safest place. Look at all these new measures. That was then recognized also by the World Travel and Tourism Council, because we also got the Safe Travel, Safe Destination stamp from them as well. So we have our own, we have the international one as well. So that's really helping us, again, position Dubai as the must-visit place.
Well, I can tell you from being on the ground, I mean, we went from 1 location as the lighthouse to 4 during the pandemic. So
That's
that gives you a sense of...
That's amazing.
And I'm just saying this because that's on the ground level,
yes,
reflecting some of those measures that were put in place.
Yeah.
And the key point here is people felt a certain level of trust, a certain level of safety.
And confidence, right?
And confidence.
Yes.
And confidence.
And you're absolutely right, because like yourself, I met a lot of people, especially within the restaurant field, who said, we trust and we believe in what Dubai is doing. We've opened 1 or 2 new restaurants.
We doubled down, but we felt that the measures in place are supporting.
And I hope that's working now post.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. I mean, you know, to the point that
to
now...
the point,
I mean,
there's even more expansion.
There's a lot of expansion.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, there's something we're going to talk to segue into food. You know, there's a boom. So you are now here.
Yes.
So where do we go? Where do you go from here?
Now, see, during the pandemic, again, in true Dubai style, right? We don't like to stop and look back and enjoy what we've done. We don't like to celebrate the achievements, right? I mean, it is there for everyone else to celebrate. We're always looking at how are we building a sustainable model going forward. Dubai being a market where a lot of the experts would say that, oh, you know what? It's a bubble. Right? And we've heard this about Dubai many times. Last year, UBS come out and say Dubai is the most undervalued real estate market in the world. Right? So there's a very big change in tone. And again, we never look neither at this report nor the negatives. We're focused on what it is that we want to achieve in our agenda, right? Right now, not only are we aiming at becoming the most visited in terms of numbers, most repeat visitors, most extended stay within Dubai, and also increasing spend within the GDP. Those are, of course, from a tourism perspective. But now we're also looking at Dubai becoming the best city to live in.
I was going to say, residents, so people
100%.
moving in here. You can see
100%. And the numbers have already started to grow. And the change that people have seen now has made people realize, even from a tourism perspective. So our top markets, some of them were closed, were shut down. If I had continued to rely only on those, I would still be twiddling my thumb and waiting. But what we did was we started to focus on the markets that have shown potential in the past, right? But maybe we didn't instigate enough there. This gave us a chance. So for example, France as a market, they always saw Dubai as a destination that maybe is a bit shallow, right? They've got the beautiful buildings and stuff, but there's a lot of this bling bling factor. It doesn't appeal to them.
Yeah. They didn't feel it had the depth.
100%.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, and because of the messaging that we've done, and the team worked really hard to get that message out there, they thought, okay, you know what? Dubai is the only destination we feel safe to travel with our family. So let's go to Dubai for the safety aspect. All of a sudden, they realized, wait a second, Dubai has so many things to offer. And that changed the perception. They became huge ambassadors and advocates of the city, and they're pushing the destination a lot more now, right? Same thing with Netherlands. We saw great growth. Same thing with Egypt. We saw a lot of growth. So there's a lot new markets that we've actually opened up. India finally came to its 100% capacity recently.
Yes.
Saudi as well. China still hasn't opened, but we've built a stronger foundation on other markets. So it gives us a bigger chance to grow. With that change, with people seeing how Dubai is running things, with business decision makers thinking, you know what? This hot and cold of, are we open? Are we closed? Are we going to open? Are we going to close? Are we going to close again? This uncertainty. Dubai wasn't like that. Because Dubai's mandate was, once we open up, make sure you're ready because we will not close again.
And as a matter of fact, you look at Hong Kong and Singapore, two rival markets.
Yes.
And you see, they are struggling. And it created an opportunity. I'm not saying you want them to struggle, but I think it created an opportunity for Dubai.
Because see, for us, again, it's the first mover advantage, right? And again, with that, also you have the responsibility. As in, we've opened up, people have seen that, we've managed to bring them in, but now it's about sustaining it.
Yeah.